The book of Haggai, chapter 1, verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. Okay, first and foremost, I like to give infinite honors and prayers to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakah. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Green Millstone, and salutation to the Agams that's pushing the truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this video be edifying first and foremost to the whole elect, then to those that cleave to the body. This lesson will be about the average American, or your average Israelite, so to say, because we don't care about the other Americans. All right, your average Americans can't continue to survive financially, all right, in this place. Whether it be, to get your daily bread, all right, to make ends meet, to pay the bills, all right, the overwhelming taxes, okay, the inflation, the super inflation, okay, the jacked up prices here. There's no way to continue to live. And here's a little chart, all right, that estimate, and this was in August. They have an estimate of the total income per household that Americans need to just only live comfortably. Meaning, all right, you're not ahead, you're not behind, you're content, right? And that's why it says godliness with contentment is great gain, because the poor is oppressed here, all right? We oppressed on every side, all right? And the Lord had it that way because we fell under the sword of the curses, all right? Because we left the house that the Heavenly Father built for us, man. We wanted to be enjoined in other man's house and count their table, all right? To be greedy upon their table, man. All right, and that's why we forgot to build a house of the Lord. All right, it'll tell you that in Proverbs 24. All right. Matter of fact, I get that. Now I'll come right back to that Haggai. All right, because that book there is about Zerubbabel building the house of the Lord, but coming with the building the house of the Lord, we'll eat off the Lord's table. See, after live in another man's house, you have to also eat of his table. You have to go to dinner with him, and this man is cutthroat, right? He, when thou, sittest with a ruler, know what comes diligently before thee. All right, and this is what he have caused. We have drunken our water for wood. I mean, he have, sold in wood to drink. I'll get that too in Lamentation, all right? Because he sold us these houses, then overtaxing us for them. All right, and now we behind the 8 ball and not paying us enough at the job, so it's all strategically done. All right, you see that? Everything is strategically done, but it's this is Salaki. I don't want to go there. Y'all get the Lamentation that I mentioned, Salaki. This is our Lamentations 5. I'll start from the top. Remember, O Yahweh, what has come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach. All right. Our inheritance is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens. You see? And your house is that which the Lord gave up over us, man. It ain't just the thing that you go in, you rest, all right, you eat, you feast, all right. The true house is the house of the Lord. That's why when he was speaking to Haggai in the Haggai 1, all right, it goes into the building of the house of Zerubbabel, all right. It says, we are orphans and fatherless. See, our mothers are widows. So the things that nurtured us, all right, our fields and, the abundance and the increase of our cattle and different things of that nature, now, all right, it's turned over into the people that basically are withholding those things from us, man. See, you see what the curses did? All right, it stricken our diets. All right, caused us to die from diseases and sicknesses. All right, and ultimately it brought us down in power. All right, that we may be able to serve the Lord, man. Now we got to go to harlot houses, churches. They gave us churches in place of our houses. All right. And that's also killing us. So from the philosophy to our diets, all right, to just simple survival of a house and water. All right. And food, okay, they have weaponized it, which is Esau, Edom. All right. And it became enemies against us, man. It says we have drunken our water for money, right? We got to pay for water. Our wood is sold unto us. See? These houses are sold unto us. We never pay them off. All right. And on top of that, you know, Esau used so much usury inside of these houses. All right. Until Jake be caught up in the contract. And then all Jake could damn near pay for is the house. He can't pay for the maintenance of the house, you know, amongst other things. It says our necks are under persecution. We labor and we have no rest. Now, you see, this is what we did. And I'll get this Proverbs 24, see, and 27, and it reads, it says, prepare thy work without and make it fit for thyself in the field. But remember, our fields are curses. So we can't, it's cursed according to Deuteronomy 28. I'll get that. All right. So even when we go in the field of work, you got to go to work, right? That when you rest and labor, all right, you'll be all good and find peace at home, right? Our house is supposed to be our peace sanctuary where we escape the toils of the world, man. See? But then we got lions dwelling in the houses, you know, with our women. You know, I don't want to rock this, every man don't, but just, you know, I'm just speaking of from a nation perspective, all right? Right? No peace. You know, hey, you know, some men got ungodly children. You know, whether you serve the Lord or not, that can be the case, all right? We just saying, those are the curses. Daughters, you know, my brother got daughters that's harlots. You know, you don't want to say these things, but hey, you know, Lord willing, you know, a man and his family be saved. But you got to call a spade a spade. We just talking about your family in general. Because here your earthly family may not be, most likely will not be, unless the Lord, you know, save your house. All right. Your spiritual family, you know, it's a possibility that may not be the case. Now, you know, we don't know. So I speak as a man, but for the most part, our families here, you know, it's not our families, our spiritual families, you know, or, you know, like, you know, they'll have to come back through a righteous man's loins or whatever the case may be. So that's what, you know, that's why I'm speaking in that fashion. But the Lord can save men's houses. All right. So, you know, I'm not speaking against that in no kind of way. But it says, prepare thy work without and make it fit for thyself in the field. See, the field is a curse unto us. All right. So even when we go out to prepare our work, we bring in little. We sow much and reap little. And afterwards build down house. But what we didn't do, all right, we didn't consider in Deuteronomy 28 this, man. We didn't consider that this would play a major factor or take a toll on us in this day and age, man. That's why we consider, all right, we consider the things where we fall short at. You know, the men of the Lord, all right, we are very considerate of what's going on because we understand that the Lord have abased us, man, right, according to our doings. It wasn't for nothing, all right? This is Deuteronomy 28 and 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. See? We won't go in another man's vineyard and work, right? The Lord says, stay in our vineyard, stay in my vineyard, eat this pleasant fruits. It's infinite amount of fruits, man. And that's a similitude for, you know, eating upon thine own tables, man. You know? Staying in the house of the Lord, abiding by the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Because in a house, there's laws, there's rules. We have house rules, all right, that we rather go and do whatever we wanted to do instead of what we should do and needed to do, all right? We chose appetites over temperance. We chose appetites over stability, right? We chose instability over, we chose instability over stability, right? We chose ungodliness over godliness. And this is the results, man. It says, curse shall be thy basket and thy store. Curse shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep. See? Curse shall thou be when thou comest in, and curse shall thou be when thou goest out. All right, so, as we came in here poor, we're going to leave out of here poor. And we're going to remain in here poor. See? We counted on other men's tables, man. And it have hurt us tremendously. See? This is Sirach 40 and 28. I'm going to start at 27. The fear of the Lord is a fruitful garden and covered him with all glory. See, having the wisdom and knowledge of the Lord directs us into his house, man. And it's fruitful unto us. See, we've been fruitless, all right, concerning since we left and played the harlot under the enemies. Now, granted, a remnant have returned unto the Lord and have, reaped the benefits of the repentance and the mercy and different things of that nature. And the Lord is definitely taking care of us, man. But in this world, there's no way we could continue. Oh yeah, I got this this chart up to basically show, all right, how there's no way to continue here, man. All right, because here we have no continuing city, and we seek one to come. You see, it says, "My son, lead not a beggar's life, for better is to die than to beg." And we're the poor man. All right, we're Lazarus here, right? We got to get the crumbs off the table here. We got to make ends meet. But call like for that too. All right, that we being the poor, because he gonna lift the poor from the dunghill. So it's gonna be, it's gonna be great, man. It's gonna be a phenomenon. All right, from where we gonna be, where we gotta base that to where we gonna be exalted to. It says the life of him that depended on another man's table is not to be counted for a life, for he polluted himself with other men's meat. But a wise man, well nurtured, will beware thereof. See? So we rather die than to beg. It says begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless. Right? But in his belly there shall burn a fire. And we beg the Lord. We pray to the Lord to get us out of this, man. We're not begging our enemy for the want of nothing, man. Yes, we got to go to this devil. We get it. All right? But we're begging the Lord to get us up out of here, man. And look at this shit. The income needed for a single adult 2025 in Texas, 90,000. This one person, all right? We're not counting other things, whatever, right? Because there's many more things. All right, this should cover it, so to say, right? And this all contingent upon just being able to get food, water, have a vehicle, get back and forth to work, and if you, I guess, have a dog, no extra curricular activities, man. Just the normal activities it take to just live. All right, let's go over this list real quick, because I had this list pulled up. I kind of not ignored it, but I got in the spirit of just, speaking of how, there's no way to make it, right? An income needed for a 4-person family. That's the man, his woman, and 2 kids, which I myself have 5 kids, Salaki. All right, and I have a woman. Okay, so that's 6, and that's obviously Jake. No, I don't make nowhere near none of this shit. All right, it says $204,000 a year. $204,922. That's in Texas. Wyoming, $87,209 for 4. Kansas, $87,200,000. New Mexico 87,220. Nebraska 87,215. Michigan 87,207. Wisconsin 87,225. Iowa 86,202. Missouri 86,218. Indiana 86,220. And brothers living all, in Nebraska, boom, Wisconsin, Iowa, Texas. Brothers are everywhere. Brothers in Missouri 86,218. Indiana 86,220. So this is affecting brothers everywhere. All right. And brothers have families. Some brothers are single. But even the single brothers don't make this amount, man. So technically we can't afford to live here anymore. Right? If Jake won't just be honest, we can't afford to live here. Jake maybe passing the $30,000 threshold. So they're not even halfway to living comfortably here. And this I'm talking about brothers. I don't want to sell no brothers short. I don't know their personal finances. But for the most part, we round brothers, man. We don't, we make our daily bread. Right? Esau heightened these prices so we wouldn't be able to live and have to depend on him to live through that RFID, man. See that? You see, all these things was done. So look, you'll be able to live if you just accept this, man. You don't have to worry about bills no more. You don't have to worry about a job paying this anymore. Just take this and we'll take care of you with a universal basic income. So Mississippi, they already got brothers 86,000, 186,000 just for a 4-person household. Louisiana, where I'm at, 85, 199,000. 85,000 a year for one person and 199,000 a year. I don't know if brother made that. If they do, I ain't asking. I'm not asking brothers. But I doubt if any brother making that. Right? And if so be it, okay, but, it's still like, that's just to live comfortably. That's not to have anything extra. And to not have anything extra, technically you're suffering or you're struggling, right? Because you don't have an emergency, nothing. So we have our daily bread, but we still suffering in the flesh because we're paying for things that don't even need it supposed to get paid for, man. Ohio, obviously, brothers there. Alabama, brothers there, 85, 194. Ohio, 84, 220. And this was 2 months ago. Oklahoma, 84,208. This was 2 months ago. So that number done increased, man. But that pretty much was the point. We can't continue to survive financially here. And the weirds, I'm talking about the men of the Lord, man. I really, at this point, you just got to care about what's needed to be cared about, man. So that's pretty much the point, man. I found this interesting. The brother posted this in the WhatsApp, and I just wanted to horn this in and just bring this to thought to brothers' mind to see, like, we can't afford to live here, and we is the men of the Lord. The Lord give us our daily bread, but what I'm saying is put the curses upon this place, all right, and hasten up, to get up out of here, man. That the Lord, do his thing on the whore, man. Right? Because every day is getting more of a struggle, just to damn near eat, man. So that was it. So, I don't want to wrap this out. Was that a fine, man? Till next time I see Shalom.